1.2. So in the previous lecture we can discuss about how can we represent any of the number on the number line. So for that we can also discuss about the Pythagoras theorem, and we can take the one of the example like a root 2. How can we represent the root 2 on a number line? So today we can start our exercise number 1.1. In exercise number 1.1 we have the question number 1 is like that: state whether the following statements are true or false, and if it is false then justify your answer. So first question is, every irrational number is a real number. So last time we can discuss about what is a irrational number. So the definition of irrational number are the number which is not in a form of p by q, which is not in a form of p by q, it is called irrational number. So they are asking what? Every irrational number is a real number. So yes, because if we are taking the example of root 2, so if we find the value of root 2 in our calculator, so it will be approximately 1.73. So we can represent 1.73, it is a one kind of the real number. Yes, it is a real number. So first statement, it is true, because if every in a real number, so all the number are included in the real number. So now second, so every point on the number line is in a form of root m. So here they are saying that what? First of all, I am drawing the number line, so you can easily understand. So suppose it will be 0, -1, then 1, 2, 3 and 4. So if we are taking any of the number, suppose we are taking the number root 2. So last time we can represent, how we can represent root 2 on a number line. So same, if we are taking the two number like root 2 and root 3. So if we are taking these two number, so between these two number we can already discuss that between any of the two number we have an infinite number like 1.1, 1.111, 1.111 like that. So we have the infinite number between any of the two number on a number line. So if we have every point, so we are taking the two example root 2 and root 3. So we have the infinite number between root 2 and root 3. So it means what? We cannot represent any of the number which is in a form of root m. So that statement, it will be false. So it is false statement. So what is its right statement? So we can justify it. Between root 2 and root 3 we have infinite number. So we cannot represent all the number between root 2 and root 3 on a number line. So that statement will be false. Now question number 3, every real number. They are saying that what? Every real number is an irrational number. So in a real number what happen? Some of the real number, they are not always irrational. Some of the real number are rational and some of them are irrational. So that statement is also false. So what is its right statement? Every real number is not an irrational number. It is not necessary every time all the real number are rational. Clear? So we can justify it. Every real number is not an irrational number every time. Clear? So it is its justification. Every real number is not an irrational number every time. sometime it will be rational or sometime it will be irrational. So that is our question number 1. So according to our new paper style, so they are also asking the true false, fill in the blanks, MCQ like that. So it is compulsory to write down all the exercise in one of your fair book, and also doing all the exercise in your book. And if you haven't any doubt, you can ask on my WhatsApp number. Now we are going to start our question number 2. So in our question number 2, what happened? Are the square root of all positive integers is irrational? First of all, we have one question. Are the square root of all positive integer? They are saying that what? All positive integers. So what is our positive integer? Like that. So all the square root, suppose we are taking the square root of 1, 2, 3 like that. So these are the irrational? No. Why? Because if we are taking the square root of 1, so answer will be 1. So if we will convert that number, so it is a rational. It is a rational number. And if we are taking root 2, so we cannot convert root 2 into the rational number, because if we are taking the value of root 2 on our calculator, so they are showing the one of the number. So this number we cannot convert into the rational number form. So we can declare that root 2 and root 3, these both are a irrational number. But if we are taking a root 4, so it will be the rational. So here from this 4 example, we can clearly declare that all positive integer is not a irrational. So here we can declare the square root of all positive integer is not a irrational. So they are saying that what? If not, give an example of a square root of a number that is a rational number. So we are giving the 2 example, root 1 and root 4, because if we take the square root of 4, so answer will be 2. And if we convert that root 4 into the rational number, so it is in the form of rational number because it is in a P upon Q form. So we can say that no, the square root of all positive integer is irrational. The square root of all positive the square root of all positive integer is not a irrational. Not a irrational. And we are giving the 2 example. Which 2 example? Root 1. So answer will be 1, and we can convert answer into the rational form. And second example, root 4. So we can convert root 4 into the rational number form. So these 2 examples shows that every positive integer is not a irrational. So these 2 examples that will be we can take from your exercise number 1.2. Okay. So now question number 3 from exercise number 1.2. So same question we will discuss in the previous lecture. In a previous lecture, we can represent root 2 on a number line by using the Pythagoras principle. So similarly, we can also represent the root 5 on a number line. So it means what? Every irrational number we can represent on that number line. So now we can start. How can we represent the root 5 on a number line? So for that, first of all, we can draw the number line. Suppose it is our 0, then 1, 2, 3 like that. We can take any of the scale. So Now we can represent the root 5. So first of all, we can doing the roughly work. So for a roughly work, last time we discussed about the Pythagoras principle. So according to the Pythagoras principle, so you already know that if we have a right angle means what? One of the angle which will be 90 degree. So it means what? It is a one kind of the right angle triangle. So if it is a right angle triangle, so opposite sides of a 90 degree, it is always called hypotenuse, and that is called base, and that is called our height. So according to the principle, hypotenuse square is equal to base square plus height square. Last time we can already discuss our that theorem. So once again we can repeat that theorem. According to the Pythagoras principle, they are saying that what? If we have one kind of the right angle triangle, so hypotenuse square is equal to always the sum of a two other side. So which two other side? Base and height. So here which side is our hypotenuse? It is AC. So AC square is equal to what is our base? It is BC. So BC square plus height, it means AB square. So now which number we want to represent on a number line? It will be root 5. So for a represent of a root 5, so first of all, what is the value, which value we can take as a base? So here base, we can declare base is equal to 2 and height is equal to 1 centimeter, and that will be the 2 centimeter. Yeah, or if you are taking centimeter scale, so that will be very lesser on your page. So you can take the any of the scale, like 5 centimeter is equal to 1, or a 10 centimeter is equal to 1. But if we are taking 5 centimeter is equal to 1, so we can easily represent that number on a number line. So we can declare 5 centimeter is equal to 1. So 2 square it will be 4 and 1 square it will be 1. So 4 plus 1, so it will be the value 5. So what is its our answer? AC square is equal to 5. AC square is equal to 5. Now we can take the square root. So AC is equal to root 5. And last time what happened? If we want to represent the root 2, at that time we can take that is 1 and that is also 1. And if we want to represent root 5, so here we are taking 2 and 1, because 2 square is 4 and 1 square is 1. So 4 plus 1 it will be 5. And if we take root 2, so 1 and 1, so 1 square is 1 and 1 square is also 1. So 1 plus 1 it will be 2. So you can take any of the scale. So it is depend on our question. We can also represent root 2, root 3, root 5, root 7 like that. So now we can start. So what is our base? It will be 2. So here from 0 to 2. Clear? We can take the 2. So you can take 0 to 1, means 1 is equal to 5 centimeter. So it will be another 5 centimeter. So it will be the 10 centimeter. Now it will be 1. 1 means once again we can take that scale. So that will be the 5 and 5. So it will be the 10 centimeter. So we can also take that centimeter scale on that. So it will be like that. Now we can join these two lines. So here we can give the name. So you can easily declare that. That is A and that is B. Now we can join these two lines, that and that point. And here we can declare it is our point C. Now we want to represent that root 5 on that our number line. So for that, here we can take the point on that and from here we can take the one arc like that. So it is our arc. So that from here to here, he can here declare it will be our D. So for that, now we can write its step. So first step number 1. So first of all, we can draw which? OB. So draw OB is equal to 2 centimeter or 2 inch. Sometime we can also take the 2 inch. So each will be given on the opposite sides of the centimeter. So you can take inch or a centimeter. It is depend on you. Next, from them we can draw OC is equal to 1 centimeter. Then we draw OC is equal to 1 centimeter, or sometime also we can take the it will be inch. Then join OC. Join OC. Now take O as point. From that point take arc OC. We can take the arc OC, and then that line intersect at our number line at point D. So it will be joined. So it join on number line at point D. First of all, we can once again repeat. Draw the OB. So first of all, we can draw that OB up to this. Then draw OC. So if it is 2, so it will be 1. Then we can join these two. So according to the Pythagoras, if we want to find out the value of OC, so we want to apply that theorem. So according to that theorem, so that value AC, and here we are taking OC, that will be nothing change. But here we are taking AC and here we are taking OC. If you have the confusion, so we can declare it is A. So you can easily. So it will be here AB and here we can take AC. And here we can take once again AC. So the measurement from A to D, it will be the value of root 5. So here we can declare now AD is equal to root 5. So it is our last step. Once again we can repeat that step. First of all, draw the AB, then draw the AC, then we can join not OC, now we can, it will be AC, and then take A as a point. From that take the arc AC and then the join that point on line, our number line. So we can find AD is equal to root 5. In next question, it is similar like that, but it is a one kind of the activity. So we can do that activity on when our school will be start. So now the next topic. So next topic is what? The real number and that and their decimal expansion. So for that we are taking the two example. So you can easily understand how can we represent that number. So for that we are taking number like 1 by 3. So it is rational number. 1 by 3, it is a one kind of the rational number. So if we want to convert that fraction into the decimal form, so we can perform the division. So now, so here 1, so we are taking the point. So 3 3s are 9. So once again we have a 1 as our remainder. Now once again we can take the 0. So 3 3s are once again 9. So it will be 1 because 10 minus 9, and here we have a 0. So once again it will be 10. So it will be like that, 3 3 3 3. So here one of the digit is repeating. So we can convert any of the fraction into the decimal form. Now we have a two case actually. In case number 1, case 1 what happened? Sum of the case, if remainder is 0. In case number 2, remainder is not 0. So we have a two case. First it is a remainder is 0. In second case, remainder is not a 0. So we are taking the example of both. So you can easily understand in which case we have a remainder as a 0 and in which case we have a remainder is so if we perform the division, so we cannot get remainder as our 0. So in this case, so this is the example of that. If we divide the further, so we are performing the number of stages, but we cannot get remainder as 0. And now we are taking the one more example like 1 by 8. So if we are taking 1 by 8, so 8 divided with 1. So now here we are putting 0. So 8 ones are 8. So 2 is our remainder. Now once again we can put 0. So now 8 2s are 16. So here 10 minus 6 it will be 4 and 1. So it will be 0. Once again we can put 0. So 8 5s are, it will be 40. So here we have a remainder as our 0. In this case we cannot get remainder as 0. In this case we can get remainder as 0. So in any of the rational number we can convert into the fraction form. So we can convert fraction into decimal form by using division. Clear? We can convert fraction into decimal by using division, but in that we have a two case. So that case we have the example of 1 by 8. In that case we have an example of 1 by 3. But in this case we have a more two case. So here one of the digit is repeating, and in some cases what happen, digit is not repeating. In your book they are saying repeating digit as a recurring. Here non-recurring. So if same digit is repeating, here see 2 3 3 3. In some cases like 1 2 3, then once again 1 2 3, once again 1 2 3. So this kind of the example we are considering as a recurring. We cannot get remainder as a 0 as well as some digit are repeated. So it is called recurring, non-terminating recurring, because it is not terminated. So here we can declare non-terminating recurring, and here it is non-terminating non-recurring. So actually we have a three case. In case number 1 what happen? If it is remainder is 0, so it is terminating. Terminating means what? We can get remainder as 0. And if we cannot get remainder as 0, so actually it is non-terminating because it will be continuous digit. So it is called non-terminating. And in non-terminating we have a more two case. Which two case some of the digits are repeated like that 3 3 3. So it is called non-terminating recurring. And if here some of the cases what happen, their digit is repeating but it will be different digits. Like if we divide, here we are taking the one example like 22 by 7 or 22 divide with 7. So if we are taking that example, so what happened, digits are not repeating same. Clear? So in that exercise we are going to learn the two different cases. In case number 1, remainder is 0, and in second case we cannot get remainder as 0. So it is a basic of before the exercise number 1.3. So we can make the one chart, so you can easily get that how can we convert any of the decimal into the two different type. So decimal we have actually we have a two type, one it is in the terminating and one it is in the non-terminating. If we get the remainder as 0, it is terminating, and if we cannot get remainder as 0, so it is called non-terminating. In non-terminating, if digits are repeating, so it is called recurring, and if digits are not repeating, it is called non-repeating. Now, so according to that chart, our question number 1 from exercise number 1.3 is that write the following in the decimal form and say what kind of decimal expansion each has. So first of all we need to convert that fraction into decimal, and after getting that we can declare that it is a terminating or a non-terminating. So in a previous standard you can already performing that fraction into the decimal. So here in the denominator we have 100, so we can write like that 0.36. so it is terminating, it is a one kind of the terminating number. So here it is called terminating, because we can directly declare that we do not require any of the division, because we can directly convert 36 upon 100, it will be 0.36. Now second, in a second what happened, 1 upon 11, so we can write like that 11 divide with 1. So first of all here we are putting 0, so here we have a point, once again we can put 0, so now here we have a 100. Now 11 9s are 99, so we can get 1 as our remainder. Once again we can put 0, so here we also put 0. Then once again we have a 0, so it will be now 11 9s are 99. So once again we have a 0. So here two digits are repeated, 0 9 0 9. Clear? But it will be continuous form. We cannot get remainder as 0 if we perform the number of time of division. Clear? So this kind of the number, it is called non-repeating, non-terminating, and it is repeating, non-terminating, repeating. Now next case, so it will be in the mixed fraction. So first of all we can convert that mixed fraction into the simple fraction. So 8 4s are 32, 32 plus 1, so it will be 33 by 8. Now we want to convert that number into decimal form. So we can start with division. So 8 4s are, it will be 32. So we can get 1 as our remainder. Once again we can point 0. So here we have a point. Now 8 1s are 8. So we have a 2 as our remainder. Next, once again we can put 0. So 8 2s are 16. So it will be 4. Once again we can put 0. So 8 5s are, it will be 40. So now the remainder is 0 0. So in that case what happened? We can get remainder as 0. So it is our first type, terminating, because we can get remainder as 0. And in that case we cannot get remainder as 0. So it is called non-terminating. But here two digits are repeated, 0 9 0 9 like that. So it is called non-terminating recurring. And here this number, it is called terminating. Now we have more two example, 3 upon 13, 2 upon 11. So first of all we can start 3 upon 13. So here 13 divided with 3. So first of all here we put 0. So it will be 30. Now 13 2s are 26. So it will be 4. Once again we can put 0. So 13 3s are, it will be 39. So once again we have a 1. Now we will put more 0. So we can, here we have a 10 and here we have a 13. So once again we will put 0. So here we can also put 0. Now 13, we can start with 13 8s are, so 8 3s are 24, 8 1s are 8 plus 2, so it will be 104. So we can start with 13 7s are, because 37 3s are 21 and it will be 91. So 7s are 91. So here we can get 9 as our remainder. Once again we can put 0. So 6 are, so it will be 78. So now once again 10 minus 8, so it will be 2 and here we have a 8. So 1. Once again we can put 0. So now 9s are 117. So once again we have a 3. So it will be, now we will put 0. So once again we can get 30. So these digits are repeated now. Once again 2 3 0 7 6 9, because here we have a start with 30. Once again we can get 30. So these 6 digits are repeated. So this is called what? This number is called non-terminating, repeating, non-terminating repeating number. Now we have a more two example which is given in exercise number 1.3 in question number 1, question 5 and 6. So it will be, you can try at your home. So it will be similar example like that.